Hi, I'm Adam Walsh, host and producer of The Signal. We took the show to the Neighbourhood, a drop-in adult day program. We spoke to a bunch of folks involved, and we also talked about the activities like the ones happening behind me.
So, hello folks in Radio Land. We're coming to you live from the Neighbourhood, which is an adult day program. It's the first program really of its type here in the province. It's in the old gymnasium at Bishop's High School in St. John's, or the Bishop's Gardens retirement home. So that's where we are on Pennywell Road.
And what's happening, I don't know, so I always wonder how much folks can hear when we're out and about with a show like this, because I can hear clinking of dishes, and there's some music in the background, there's a little bit of movement. What's going on?
I hear about 25 or 30 seniors having a great time in the Bake Apple Cafe. It's lunchtime, so they're sitting down to a good home-cooked meal in our retro diner. And that's what it sounds like typically here from Monday to Friday.
For folks who don't know about this place, like you said where we are, the former school we're in, and what's going on. What's the overview of this whole complex, and how does it work?
Right on. So we started redeveloping Bishop's High School into a seniors complex about 5 years ago. Yeah. And the Neighbourhood is the third part of that. So initially we built a 100-bed personal care home where we provide both subsidized and private care. We have a little apartment building here which has about 15 apartments, and the folks who live there are pretty independent. But where we are now in the gymnasium is the first adult drop-in adult day program in the province. So what it is the spot where if your parent, maybe your spouse, needs some care that would typically be provided through home care, like in-home, it's a place that they can come, they can spend the day with other people, they can make new friends. We've got activities and food and clinical oversight. So really it's a new type of community for folks who aren't ready to move into a facility like Bishop's Gardens yet. It's so important to them to stay home, and they're staying with their partners, their kids, as long as they can. But it's a bridge between that and a more institutional type of living.
Right on. Okay, I mean, that's really interesting. What's it like for you to work here? Like, why did you want to get into this?
I love it. Yeah. I care deeply about the work that we do, so I think that myself and my partners have all had family members who've been impacted directly by dementia. My grandfather had an aggressive bout, and my nan was his primary caregiver. And I think that as a young person, seeing the impact that had on her and how hard it is to be a primary caregiver, what that means to somebody when you're doing it for them, man, that takes a lot out of you. My nan passed away a couple of days after Pop, although she wasn't chronically ill the same way, and it was the exhaustion of serving somebody in that way. So as a business person, that's deeply informed my work. But I think if something like the Neighbourhood had existed when she had been around, then the ways that it could have served people like my pop would have, you know what, I think his life would have been better, but I know that hers would have. Yeah. I think what we're doing here is as kind to the caregiver who's providing respite for somebody as it is to the person who comes and takes part in the program. So yeah, I mean, we saw a hole in the way that we care for seniors here in the province. And then we had some people with some vision and energy and deep compassion for seniors who wanted to bring it to life.
Yeah, because this conversation we're having this hour, this is every family, every married couple, every person. We are all
Absolutely.
Aging in this province. The thing is, we all age out eventually, right? Like every single one of us. So this conversation about later in life and having these in-between spots where you can go when home care is part of the conversation, assisted living is part of the conversation, how to still have community and keep community no matter where, if we're going to have it at the Neighbourhood, we're going to have it around the dinner table. It is such an important conversation. Who's next to bring in to chat with me?
I think the next person is going to be Laura Lee Wetlaufer. So Laura Lee was one of the first hires that I made as we started and launched this business. She's our Director of Operations here at Fort Amherst Healthcare, but she was also started as the General Manager at Bishop's. So she's been pivotal in growing the business, and she's going to tell you all about what we've been doing.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Thank you so much.
So that's Mike Powell, the President of Fort Amherst Healthcare. Laura Lee Wetlaufer, how you doing?
I'm good, Adam.
You got to adjust the mic there, because your colleague is he's pretty tall.
Significantly taller than I am.
He's a very tall human being.
He is.
All right, how did you? remind me, how did you get to, first, what's your Newfoundland story before we get to the story of here?
So my husband and I came to Newfoundland in 2009 from Ontario for some general meetings with the Children of Chernobyl charity. And he was job hunting at the time, and we came to Newfoundland. We spent 6 days here in October, and I cried when I got on the plane to fly home. I didn't want to leave. And so 10 weeks later, he had a job in a house-to-house sit, and he moved to Newfoundland. Kids and I sold the house, finished the school year, and moved in June 14 years ago. And we're all still here, and we have no family ties to Newfoundland. It really was just an adventure for us, and we're here to stay.
Grandkid and everything, right?
Yeah, so my first grandchild was born. We have a granddaughter. She's 3 weeks old, and her dad's from Buren.
Yeah.
And so pretty sure we're here for good.
Oh, you're not escaping. There's no chance
we're not
of escaping
going
now. How did you end up involved with this? At the
So I
Neighbourhood?
had been working in seniors care for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
I tripped into it by accident over coffee one day, and this project was being built, and what I loved was the continuity of care, that I could move in independently, maybe move into care, but they had a vision for the day program which was new and a new service to serve the adult community, and so I loved the vision for the company. And so I joined them first as the manager of Bishop's Gardens when it was still under construction. And then moved in as the director of operations down the road.
What's happening here today? We talked about lunch. What else is going on?
So the run of a day, we gather. We start our day usually with an exercise class, some kind of physical activity. Everybody does that together. And then every activity that we do has a therapeutic recreation base. So we've done some music and some reminiscing this morning. We did a puzzle piece scavenger hunt. So everybody gathered the puzzle pieces. They sorted them together and then in pairs built the puzzles. So that just really works. Our brains have worked. Now we're having lunch. And just that sense of getting together, building community, having a conversation, like so much happens over a meal. And then this afternoon we're going to move in. We've got local artist Kara Kinsella with us, and she's going to do an art project. So everybody will get in there and get messy in the Painted Puffin Art Studio, and they'll make something. And I know as people watch later on YouTube, or you can see in the location there's artwork on the walls, and those are all participant projects. So we have balloon painting that became window hangings and a pot of flowers, and we have tiles that got painted that became a wall hanging, and a paper mache project that kind of went awry, so they became jellyfish and they hang in the window and they're gorgeous.
Oh, I was looking at those earlier.
Yeah,
They're
so I think they were
fantastic.
going to start out as bowls and that didn't work, so we just pivoted and they became jellyfish in the window and they're gorgeous.
Yeah, and the sun, so I'm looking now, and the sun is shining through them, right?
Shines
And they
right
look
through them.
fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that's going to be our day.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, our family members and caregivers or our van will transport some people home at the end of the day, and then they'll go back to life at home. And they'll have had a day, they'll have things to talk about, they'll be engaged, and our hope is that the caregivers will be rested and have run their errands, and everybody will be ready to come together and be a family.
So you've got transportation, and what's
Yes.
the rough, like? How does it work for costs for folks who are curious about this? Like, what are the costs for here?
So we have two private pay cost levels, either 55 a day or 70 a day, and we do half-day options with or without lunch as well. And those differences are just based on the acuity of personal care somebody might need. And then we also have subsidized spots available through NLHS, the Newfoundland Health
I'm still
Service.
getting used to that too.
Right?
Yeah.
And they subsidize that. Those spots include transportation. And they include lunch. And so, again, we offer some part and full time. You can come 1 day a week, 5 days a week, 3 days a week, full and half days. And that's funded through the same community services that does home care. So we've had some people who have switched up their home care hours. Maybe now we use home care in the evening, but some of those daytime hours we use and come to day program.
Cool.
Because we can do more hours for less commitment, and so that works out well.
Let's bring Wayne into the conversation,
Okay.
if you want to. And then I want to
Absolutely.
continue our conversation through the show if we could, because I've got
Sure.
a bunch more questions to ask, even just about the design and how you
Yep.
figured all that out for here.
Excellent. So, Wayne.
So it's Wayne Hooper, right? Tell me a bit
This is
about
Wayne Hooper. Wayne's wife, Helen, is a participant. So Helen has, my understanding, and Wayne will correct me if I don't get this all right, but early onset dementia. And their desire is really to stay together in community. And what the day program has provided for them is Helen has her community and she comes and participates and spends the day. Well, Wayne does things like Tim Hortons with his buddies, rides his motorcycle, sometimes replaces the hot water heater. But he can do life, and then when they come together, then at the end of the day, Helen's refreshed with lots of stories to tell, and Wayne is in a good position then to be a husband and a caregiver, and it just has really helped. So he'll do a much better job of telling you
Thanks
that
for the
story.
intro. That was a great intro, though.
Thank you.
Wayne, step
Hi,
on up.
Adam.
How you doing?
Good, boy. Good. Yourself?
Thanks. Good. Hanging out, in the neighborhood. And I heard you would be in the neighborhood, so I figured we could have a conversation. Tell me about when you first discovered this place and just your life situation at the time.
Yeah, basically, when we discovered, this total complex, the apartments, as I said, the care and the neighborhood. Neighborhood's what brought us here, because it's, at the time we joined when there was only 5 or 6 members. And it gives you the flexibility, because you can come for half a day, you can come for 2 hours, you can come for a week. And the thing is, with Helen, I mean, she's 7 years now with dementia. So we've been very blessed that we still have a lot of good days. And a place like this provides the opportunity, Adam, to give the caregiver, because there is a real caregiver burnout, like you and I chatted before, right? And this gives you that breathing space.
Life of the day, the days, the weeks, the months go by, and with that, it's like bills, winter tires, summer tires,
Definitely.
you name it, and just self-care, all of that together as you're focused on taking care of your of health.
Absolutely, and like I said to you, we've been really blessed. I mean, we've been still able to travel. We still love spending time together out in the car, go for a drive or whatever. But this place helps you alleviate some of the pressure of the care. Where are you going? How's she being taken care of? And when I pick her up in the afternoons, or sometimes I pick her up after lunch, and she's smiling, she's happy, so, I've said to Mike before, I mean, these places need to be in Gander, Grand Falls, Twillingate, you know what I mean? Because this is such a great model. I spoke to Seamus O'Regan there 2 or 3 months ago, like I mentioned to you. I'm not 100% sure that the federal government or the governments in general get the real need, because it's my family today, Adam, could be yours tomorrow, or yours, or whomever. And society in general doesn't feel comfortable. That's what I've discovered. And it's sometimes it hurts, because no person brings this on themselves. Yeah.
What is it then that this place has taught you about living in life for what you get here, and the fact that you think it's something that could be replicable across Newfoundland and Labrador, or should be replicated?
I think what it teaches you, or what helps you to realize more than teach, is the fact that dementia doesn't have to be a death sentence. If you look on that board over there's 10 things that fall under, because dementia is the umbrella, right? There's 10 things that fall under dementia. But this allows you to realize that you're not alone, and there are facilities and services. I mean, just to come in and I mean, you can eat off the floors. This place is spit shined, right?
It is like it's
Isn't it?
bright here, and it is really clean. Like I noticed that when I walked in.
It's awesome,
Yeah.
right? I mean, they have beautiful meals served every day, and you know, even if when you look at it, you believe that at the end of the day she doesn't retain everything, well, that's okay. I mean, I don't retain everything in my day, let alone, you know.
Yeah.
So, no, it's been a good venture. It's been a rewarding, you know, and I keep saying that I wish more people realized it and knew about it, because you and I chatted earlier, there's such a need out there, right? Such a need. And the government now are stepping up. Mike was telling me they're offering some subsidies to the clients, and you know, so they should, because this is a real need, right? A real need. And when we got this in our community, Adam, you know, you don't have to be driving for 10 hours. You don't have to fly to Halifax. You don't have to fly. It's right here in our own community. And the more people realize it, I said to Mike, I really think this place will just blossom, but like any business, it takes time, right? And I mean, we started here, it was 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
Now it must be 25 or 30 here.
So then, give me an example of just a bit of a regular day for you. If Helen's going to come here for a couple hours,
Yeah.
what's a day like?
What's a day? We're here at 9 o'clock. We'll come in, and then Helen will get her bracelet on and stuff like that, and socialize with Michelle and the staff, and then they will integrate her into the clients that are already here. And then when I leave, she knows that I'm going to be back either after lunch or at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So again, Mike takes that anxiety away.
Yeah.
She doesn't have, when is Wayne coming back? So that's the type of day, and the flexibility. If it's a beautiful day like today, I can pick Helen up at any time.
Yeah.
And go for a walk, go for a drive, right? So, no, it's a good day, and it's a system and a process that just needs a support, right?
What was it like for you then, before you both of you had this ability, right?
Yeah.
So the morning, and then you're going to come back early afternoon or mid-afternoon or something, you go do whatever it is you need to do to just keep the household going and just for some self-care. What was it like before you had it?
Before we found this?
Yeah.
Well, it was quite hectic because, excuse me, I was always focused on, and we were focused on doing things together.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like in any relationship, that can strain the couple's relationship if you're together 24/7.
Yeah.
And no flexibility to say, well, I'll see you at 2 o'clock, or I'll see you, 12 o'clock or whatever. And coming here, it gives you that, wow, that I can walk out the door and go and get my, like I said, get my car serviced, have coffee or with the boys or whatever, and knowing that she's being motivated, stimulated, crafts, exercise, lovely meal. I mean, what more could you want? Gee, this is better than home. I keep asking staff, can I come with her?
And you said it should be replicated, right, in other parts of the province. But
Yes.
What for you is the explain? Like, I think people can completely understand from everything we're talking about why it's important, but just give me your explanation as to why it's important for others to have something like this in another community, for however it gets replicated, whether it's private or government or whatever
Right.
else.
See, society still looks down, negatively, whether it's mental issues or severe physical issues.
Loads of stigma still out there, yeah.
Stigma is real. And like I said earlier, it's my family today, it is yours tomorrow, someone else's next day. But we still got that thing of like years ago, oh, don't bother with Uncle John, he's senile.
Yeah.
So I'd say 30, 40 years ago, this is what dementia was. Uncle John is senile. But back then there was no help, there was no treatments, there was no come with us, we'll do this for the day, or you were basically stuck in the corner, and and to whether these are government funded, private funded, there's a need, Adam, right across this province.
Yeah.
Right across them. We got friends who live on the West Coast, and they say there's nothing out there. I mean, I know people that moved back from Ontario that they're living at around I'm not sure it's Brigus or Carboneer, but they're moving in here because there's no services for her husband.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, if you look at it from the point of view of the model that Mike has got going here, I mean, he's got a full package, apartments, assisted living, daytime program.
And this is the only one?
And it's the only spot.
Right.
And it's right under one roof. And the irony of the situation, my wife graduated from here, and I keep tormenting her, saying, Tracy, you're back to graduate again.
I didn't realize, so she graduated from
She
here too?
graduated from here.
Oh my gosh.
So I said,
Wow.
you're going to do a double graduation.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's, well, it's fascinating to see what they turn this place into, to be honest.
It
you know,
is.
so.
It is. I mean, you know, it just shows potential. When you got someone who's got the vision, and obviously you got to have some financial abilities.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's if we could only get people to recognize the need, I really think we'd find ways to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and some of that can come from private, some of that can come from government. Right? But the message, Mike, or Adam, we need to get out there is just tell people about what these facilities do for the clients.
Yeah, so what, for wherever it is,
Yes.
what having a day drop-in program can do with, you know, a little bit of help, some programming, a comfortable place,
Yes.
a place where there's community for folks to build community, keep community, especially in a province with like demographics, which is what they are. We're top-heavy with an aging population of the baby boom generation.
And I mean, the thing is, it's clean.
Yeah.
It's well maintained. The staff are fantastic. I mean, programs are great. So I mean, as a caregiver, what else can you ask for?
Yeah.
And that's why I keep saying to Mike and them, I mean, this serves both sides of the family, right?
Yeah.
And to take some of the pressure off, Adam, because it, you know, I'll be the first to admit, you know, it does create burnout.
Yeah.
You know, even though I got this program here, there's still times when I say, "Whew, this is a heavy road."
So you get to take care of you so you
Yeah.
can take care of Helen better.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Thanks for this conversation.
No sweat,
I appreciate
Adam.
it. It's,
Nice meeting you.
It's an important one to have, so this
It is
great.
so. Keep it up.
Cheers. Thanks, man.
Take care.
You are listening to The Signal. We are live at the Neighbourhood Drop-In Adult Day program, specifically designed for seniors, right? So we've got nostalgic, comforting spot places, engaging, inclusive recreation programs, home-cooked cuisine, you name it. I'm Adam Walsh. Like I said, you are listening to The Signal. And, yeah, like, I mean, today's show, we're hanging out, talking about, this is a show that's essentially talking about families, community, and also looking at demographics here. And, Laura Lee, who do we have up next?
So next we have Kara Kansla. Kara is a local artist and author. She writes children's books and does lots of multimedia artwork. And she is also a family member and caregiver, and her mom is a participant. So Kara volunteers with the program and does all kinds of artwork. So I know we talked earlier about some of the things hanging on the walls and in the windows, and that all comes out of Kara's creativity. And so she's going to share some of her experience with you, and I'm going to go make sure Mom doesn't join us.
Kara, how you doing?
Hi, good, thanks. How are you?
Good, thanks for doing this. So you've got a class starting soon, right?
I do.
Tell us,
yes.
I won't keep you too long. What are you about to do with everyone?
Today we're doing forest friends, so we're painting raccoons and pigs and guinea pigs and all kinds of cuckoo things like that. Also, people can paint whatever they like. So I just like to offer a sample or suggestion of what we're going to do, and then let people's creativity flow. There's no wrong or right with any of it. Yeah.
How often are you here?
Once a week I come
Once a
for the
week.
afternoon. Yeah.
And so you get to spend time with Mom and then
Yes.
and a bunch of other folks.
Lovely folks. Yeah, I
Wow.
love coming. Yeah.
What's it been like since your mom's been here for you and the family?
Living with me? Or
Yeah, and coming here, you know?
Well, coming here has been a godsend, and it has made it possible for my mom to live with us full time,
Right.
and for me to be her full-time caregiver. So she loves coming here, and it's a time of the day when I don't have to worry at all
Yeah.
about her well-being. She's taken care of, she's cared for. The staff here is fantastic, so I can't say enough good things about it, but also it's another family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long has your mom been living with you?
She's been coming here for about 7 months
7
and
months.
living with me full-time for a year.
For a year.
Yeah.
What was it like before here for you?
Actually, it was incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
I was a full-time, very busy artist, and I quickly went from being a full-time artist to a full-time caregiver. So that was a huge change for me and my family. And though I, tried to keep mom busy and doing things all day, she's pretty active. I was relieved and thrilled when we found this program. She loves it. She is dressed and ready to come every day at 7.
Yeah, so she found community right away.
She
hey?
loves it here. She loves it here. Yeah.
So then when you think of, because we have these conversations about demographics in the province, about seniors, about the baby boom generation for care.
Yes.
And also, I mean, a few months ago I had a conversation on the show with the seniors advocate about loneliness, right?
Yes.
So when we look at all of this that I just kind of mentioned, what are your thoughts for other families and other people around this province who are in similar situations, or for all of us who will eventually be in a similar
Yes.
situation anyways?
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts for message for these folks?
It's incredibly difficult. I think this is the only program like this in Newfoundland. It is the
Yeah.
only program, so I think we need more, and in rural communities as well. It's so needed. Clearly, it's
Because it's this bridge, right?
Yeah.
It fills this.
Yeah.
It plays in I'm hearing. It plays this kind of thing plays an important role for folks so like the home caregiver gets a break, a rest.
That's right.
There's community for them, community for folks who are coming here and taking part in all the activities and the people they meet.
That's right.
Loneliness then is not as much of an issue, and then burnout is not there.
That's right.
But if it doesn't exist, then you have what your situation was before here.
Burnout, frustration,
Yeah.
and for the client or my mom,
Your mom,
she's quite bored at home, and so this is fantastic, and it bridges a gap between perhaps having to put your parent or loved one in a home. We're able to keep mom at home this way, and probably for quite a long time.
That's
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
When your mom's had a good day here, which sounds like there's a lot of them,
Yeah.
what's it like when you're back home afterwards?
Well, thank goodness here, so there are photos, and I take photos that sometimes she doesn't remember.
Yeah.
She remembers that she loves coming here, but she might not
I get
remember
it.
what she did.
Yeah.
So oftentimes when we're walking the parking lot to the car, she'll say, well, I wish you would have driven me to the neighborhood today. And I'll say, oh, geez, you were just there all
Yeah.
day. And she'll say, did I have a good time?
Yeah.
If you had a fantastic time.
Wow.
Oh, great, she
Wow.
says. So she knows, like, she's forgotten a lot of things, but
Yeah.
she knows in her heart that this is her place.
Wow.
And that she has a really good time here. So that makes me happy. I'm going to start to cry.
Crying is okay on the show.
Yeah.
We cry a lot. We
Yeah.
go out around. There's always every so often there's
imagine there's always
tears.
a
Yeah,
crier.
depending where we are. So that's all okay. You're in a safe space for that. What are you going to paint today? Are you just helping folks? Or are you painting yourself?
I just help
Okay.
and tweak things, and then I mount them and finish them off when they're done, either to take home or to make a group project that stays in the art room. Yeah.
Gareth, thank you so much. I'll let
Thank
you go
you
to your
so
class.
much. Yes.
So nice
Can't
meeting
wait
you.
to see what they've started.
All
Thanks.
right, cheers now. See you. Laura Lee, how you doing?
I'm good, Adam. How are you?
Good. It was a great chat. Right?
Sorry?
I said it was a great chat.
Right?
You know, how many volunteers are here? Like, what? Because you've got like an art class meeting. Like
So we
what other
have
things are happening?
art class. Music is the other one. We have some groups people that come in and volunteer and do music. And then we certainly still have opportunity as we grow and our population gets bigger and a little more diverse. There's going to be opportunity for volunteers. So certainly if we have people in the community who are, maybe you have a talent, maybe you have something you love, and also looking for a way to give back, we'd love to talk to them here at the neighborhood and be developing that volunteer base.
Who are we talking to next?
So next we're going to talk to Tania Tilley. Tania has joined me as the Assistant General Manager at Bishop's Gardens and really provides primary oversight of the neighborhood. And she is going to have with her some of the participants. So she'll share some conversations with some of her friends that she's brought and be able to give you some background on them. But it's always nice to hear from the people who are actually participating in the program and how it's changed life for them and improved things. So
I'll leave you with Tania.
Mia, how you doing?
Good,
Come on
Adam.
in.
How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for being on the show today. How did you get involved with this?
So I've been here at Bishop since last April, so just over a year. I came on board just before our program started. So we opened in May, and I've been here with these guys ever since then.
Why did you choose this career path for yourself?
So it's funny, back in university days, I did study seniors and aging. I did a focus on gerontology, and at that time I didn't really know what I was going to do with it. And then later I went back into the LPN program, so it kind of all meshed together, and that's what brought me here.
And give me a description on what is happening at the other end of the room with some of this great music that I'm hearing in the background.
So here in the background, we have some musical trivia, I believe, is what's just about to start. So I think they're going to do some scarf movements first to get warmed up, and then they're going to go right into musical trivia.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so great.
Two of our favorite things at the program. We love movements and we love music.
Who are we going to talk to?
So over here we have 4 of our regulars. We have Paul Hallwell, Madonna Hilliard, Joyce Wiseman, and Kay Kennedy.
Amazing.
So,
All right, I can walk on over and yeah, sure. No, we can. Curtis will figure that out for the TV side of it later. He's amazing like that. How you doing, Paul?
Good.
What have you been at so far today?
We were in the exercise room, then we had a snack, and we were putting puzzles together. And like I said, when we're finished here, we'll probably go down with the other exercise class, which is good. I enjoyed coming here.
How long have you been coming here for?
I'll be here in June.
Okay.
Now, not very long, but
And where are you from, anyways?
St. John's,
St. John's. Which part of St. John's?
in by the airport.
Okay, right on. Cool. Yeah. And so now for the afternoon, what's on tap? Because we talked about puzzles and different activities. What else?
Don't know sometimes what's not going to come off, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, they keep you busy. Everyone's kept busy here.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Like I said. And at the time goes fast, really fast, right? She comes along and says, it's time to go home. And she looks at him. No, not yet, right?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, well, it's a good place to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Excellent. Well, thanks for this. I appreciate the chat.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to move on down. So we've got a line of folks here. Madonna, is it?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Adam. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
So what have you been at so far today?
Different games, different kind of.
And what's your favorite game?
And my favorite game is, let me see for this one. See? My favorite game. I play trying. I forget to to get a B&C.
As long as you're having fun, sure, it doesn't matter what the game's called, right? So where you? So and we got Joyce here too. So where are you both from, anyways?
From little town, St. Agnes. She's from Conch.
All right.
I'm from Conch.
I'm from Conch. Okay, excellent. And you say you enjoy playing games. What else do you like about being here and coming here to the neighborhood?
I love it.
Yeah, why do you love it?
Because I like it here.
That's a good reason. What about, other than games? What else is there that you enjoy from the day to
There's
day?
everything here.
Yeah.
Everybody does everything.
Yeah.
Jazz, yeah.
Yeah. So you close with Joyce?
Huh?
Are you and Joyce close?
Yeah, we're close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How long have you known each other?
Don't look at me, you tell, and I can't. I say a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And Joyce, tell me about yourself now. You're from Conch, you said?
I'm from Country.
Yeah. And then.
That's the place to go if you want to have a good old time feast, have old cardians and everything. My sonny old boy. I was going to move back there again now, so wasted my time to move back there now this age.
A bit far, anyways, right?
It's too far away.
When you're having a good time here,
And when I'm having a good time here.
and especially with Madonna here with you.
That's my old friend. They're all friends to me. I love them all. Every one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And other than playing games, what else do you like to be out here and or sitting and having a chat?
Boy, I don't know what to tell you. They won't let me wash up no dishes or nothing.
They won't let you wash any dishes. Sure, why not?
Well, they got the old teams now, the great big old teams that throws your dishes down in. They wash
Oh, the big industrial ones, yeah.
Yeah, washes themselves.
Sure, that's no fun.
No, but we had good old times. So, like all this going on now,
Yeah.
that's what we're involved in, and it's beautiful, and it's warm weather, and like it's nice people,
Yeah.
right? And everyone that's around me, we're all close, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love everyone. And I even love June. I just met you.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, who do we got here? Kay, how are you doing?
Hey, fine.
Where are you from?
St. John's.
Oh, where to in St. John's?
Newfoundland.
Okay, right on. I grew up in Mount Pearl. You have to forgive me. Yeah.
65 years up there.
Okay.
I'll be 77 this month.
77 next month. Well, happy early birthday.
Yeah, 21st May of 77.
All right, I'm turning. How old am I? I can't even keep track. 44 now in June.
I'll be 77 this month.
Okay. And so, what have you been at so far today?
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you having fun having a yak with the ladies here?
Yeah, lovely, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Excellent. Thanks for the chat.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. See you. All right.
What are you going to do with us now? Snap us all on TV or what?
Well, I mean, you could be on TV. You're on the radio right now, so we'll put you on here now tonight, and we'll go from there. Maybe online too. So everywhere.
Put it on for Conch, will you? Well,
Yes, this broadcast right now is just for Conch.
that's the crowd. That's the crowd.
All right, everyone in Conch, did you hear that? Joyce is saying you got to be listening to the show. So this is great. Thanks for the chat, folks. This is The Signal. I'm Adam Walsh. We're live at the Neighbourhood in St. John's, and there's quite the scene behind us. If people are just joining us, Tania, tell us what is happening.
So here at the Neighbourhood, Adam, we're just getting fired up after lunch. So we're getting in some movement and some music. We're doing the YMCA, got some scarf movement happening. You know, everyone's getting warmed up for the afternoon.
Yeah, it is. This place is action-packed. I don't know. Myself and Amanda Gear and Curtis Hicks here, we may not go back to CBC after this. We might just set up shop here from now on.
Yeah, afterwards we can meet up and talk about the admission agreement, those
Not
type
a problem.
of things.
I'll just point to where I need to sign. How has it been growing since you've been here for all these programs? And what's it like to see this for your position?
Oh my gosh, it's been amazing to see it from its inception. And when we started in May of last year, we would have days with 4 or 5 people, and we thought that was fantastic. And just to see it grow and to see more people join our community, and it's amazing. It's the only word for it. Yeah. We have some of the clients you spoke to have been here since the early days. And to see them, make connections and friendships, and they look forward to seeing each other, and they remember what they did last time, and they can have chats and conversations. It's so fun. It's so nice to be a part of that.
Well, thanks for introducing me to our friends from earlier, and it's been nice chatting with you.
Thanks. It was nice chatting with you, Adam.
So, Tania Tilley, their Assistant General Manager of Bishop's Gardens and Program Coordinator of the Neighbourhood. We're going to bring Mike back into this conversation now. Mike Powell, President of Fort Amherst Healthcare. I wanted to ask you, before the show's over, Mike, I wanted to ask you about provincial funding, that side of it. How does that work? I don't know anything about it other than there's something to talk about there. So inform me how that works.
Yeah, thanks. So that's relatively new for us.
Yeah.
When we opened and launched the program, we did it as a private program to make it accessible to as many people as we could. Because of course, you don't need doctors' referral orders to come here. Anybody can come. It's a drop-in program. But about a year ago, we started working with the province and have been working through a pilot program, which has basically meant that if people qualify for a couple of hours of home care a day, and they can qualify for transportation to pick them up at home, bring them here, use the program all day, and get a ride back home. That's going really well, and there's now no cap on the number of people who could be subsidized through this type of program.
So it's just as long as you qualify for home care, you can qualify for here?
Anybody in St. John's.
In St. John's, yes.
That is, or Mount Pearl.
Yeah.
So sort of the larger metro area that qualifies for home care funding can talk to their social worker about using those types of hours, that funding, to come here and participate up to 5 days a week. And we think that that's huge because it makes this accessible to so many people. But as Laura Lee talked about, if we care for people on a continuum, then early engagement with this type of program is going to keep you home longer, it's going to keep you with your kids longer, or taking care of your spouse longer, right? And as retirement homeowners, that's one of the things that we hear the most, is that it's hard to leave home. We've been trying to, we want to stay home as long as possible, and on the Bishop's Gardens side, we're really used to that, and caring for people as they come into the building. But another part of our social mission is to help people stay at home longer, and the Neighbourhood does that. Right. So we're excited that the funding's available. But as of now, anybody who qualifies for home care in the city is eligible to have a conversation with a social worker and can likely get placed with some element of funding to come here.
And then before I bring Laura Lee back in, is this expand? Like, I know this is like you've got your own business side of things here, but for anyone else paying attention, is this something that you think could be expandable to other parts of the province or what?
I think over the next year, this pilot's been extended.
Yeah.
Now there's no cap on the number of people that can use it, which is exciting. I certainly hope to see that the province will crystallize this and make it a provincial program that's available everywhere. But we're certainly happy to talk with other organizations or not-for-profits who are thinking about doing it in their own communities. We can't do it everywhere, but we do think that most large centers in Newfoundland should have something like this.
Yeah.
So if we help inspire other developers to look at that, that's great. And in the meantime, we're just excited to keep growing our program. So we have about 30 people here, and by the end of this year, I'm sure that number will have doubled. So we just need to keep exposing people to what we do and showing them a good time.
Mike Paulo, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Laura Lee Wetlaufer, how you doing?
I'm good, Adam. How are you?
It's been fun hanging out with you, doing some radio here today.
It has been fun.
Look, I wanted to ask you too, I forgot, for the design of this place, right? Because this used to be a school, and it very much does not look like one anymore.
No.
How did you figure out the design? How did that, because you looked around, didn't you?
Absolutely. So, Adam, it was a group think, took about 5 years. So the partners did some traveling, and when they were traveling through the U.S. and Canada, they would check out facilities in other parts and get some ideas. Our director of recreation came to us with a video from a group in California that had built on the town square idea that we've jumped off of. And then we worked with a local designer, and so we took sort of our inspirations and our vision, and we worked with a local designer, and they designed the space you see today, which has, the retro diner. It's got the indoor walking track and exercise space, the painted puffin, what I like to call the messy place, the place where we can get in and get dirty and do the really fun things. And then this town square that just gives us lots of room for different kinds of activities. And so, so came with lots of inspiration and lots of hard work, and then we built it and watched it come to life.
What's the look ahead then for here and you and everything that's going on? The look to the future.
So I think the look ahead is to grow the neighborhood to be full, and then maybe help some other people launch one. And then we have some other properties that we're looking at developing and continuing to fill out the continuum for seniors care. They're our primary concern and focus, and so we really want to have a full campus for them.
I appreciate this today. I love the chat, meeting everyone here, hanging out, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that was Laura Lee Wetlaufer there, Director of Operations for Fort Amherst Healthcare. And boys, that is it for the show today. On Monday, guess what? We're going to tell you what the poets are doing. We've got a load of local poets lined up to talk about the role of poetry in today's world, why they do it, what the impact is. There's loads to talk about there. Thank you so much for listening.